We have one more quick little presentation from some NASA guys here.
Okay, yeah, so thanks everyone for your patience. I swear I'll be about 5 minutes. If you were at DevTO 2 months ago, you saw Ryan and I speak on big data. We gave a talk about using big data in startups. And we thought we would test our skills. Some of you may not know, but NASA has an international space apps competition. NASA, as an organization, creates some of the most data in the entire world. So much data that they don't have the resources to do anything useful with it, but to not make full use of that data's potential. So they put on together this hackathon, and it's a global hackathon. This year there was 95 cities involved, and there was about 9,000 participants, with about 650 plus projects. So this year it was in April, and it was at the Ontario Science Centre. And me and Ryan went there to compete, and we met Roland there, and Roland's son, Stefan, and as well as another guy, Dexter. And we wanted to tackle a challenge called Alert Alert. Can you hit the slide, please? Actually, go to the next one. Okay, so NASA has 23 telescopes that orbit the globe, and they're also connected to hundreds of telescopes here on Earth. And they're all connected by something called the GCN network. And what happens is when a telescope realizes that there's an irregular pattern of photons hitting its telescope, it's now picked up that there's an event happening somewhere in space. What happens is this event is then transmitted via an XML package to every other telescope on the network so that their telescopes can then point at the same event. As you know, the Earth rotates, so one telescope would lose sight of that space event happening, so the rest of the telescopes pick this up. So we tackled this event, and what NASA wanted us to do was make use of this data, make it more accessible to the wider community, the mainstream community, not just developers, but everyday people, so you can sort of inspire children by giving them access to the stars. So we competed. We built an app we called Space Watch in 48 hours. So the first 24 hours was really about learning this, like learning how telescopes talk to each other. It's completely foreign language to us. And then the next 24 hours was building. The problem was how do you get access to this data? And we did what we thought was appropriate, and I contacted an astrophysicist that I kept seeing on this site right here called Skyalert. Contacted him. And he was generous enough to give us access to 3 of NASA's databases. So we can actually get a live feed from NASA's telescopes. What we then decided to do was to transmit the feed into sort of a Twitter-like feed of which anybody could then sort of see events that are happening in the sky. And essentially, anybody now can see events that are happening in the sky, in space, at the same time as an astrophysicist at NASA, which has never been possible before. So we won the regionals, and then 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, it was announced that we were a top 5 global finalist, and then NASA last week announced that we were the global winner for the competition. What's really cool is we've been coming to DevTO for about 8 to 12 months. Ryan learned PHP in December, as well as I learned how to code in December too. Roland here has lots of experience, and he was sort of the wise man on the team. Ryan is going to give you a quick demo of how the product works. So just for contrast, this is what this is a site that scientists used to use amongst each other. So as you can tell, built by scientists for scientists.
There we go. So this is what the site actually looks like, and everybody can visit it at skywatch.co, although it does not work on your phones, for the people whipping out their phones right now. So right now this is just dummy data, because obviously it was just a prototype at the time. And so but these are real events that we pulled out of the Skylert database. And so there's kind of two sections to how this website works. And so you have the feed James was talking about on the right here, where you can see everything coming in with the name and where it's from, a little description about it. And then we actually have it popping up on the map. So if we had this telescope right here, discover something, it would pop up. And then so as the Earth spins, you would actually be able to see it pop up here and here and here and so on. But the really cool thing, thanks to Roland and his genius, we were actually able to do something we're calling Sky View. We're using the Google Sky API. If I am interested in this asteroid right here, I can click on Sky View, and in Google Sky, we actually plot the location of the event. And then if we could connect to a real telescope using the coordinates here, we could actually show you the event happening in real time in this space right here, which is, in my opinion, pretty cool. And then we have some filters and a subscribe button, so you could follow with your email. We would set up an RSS feed. We have a Twitter hashtag and account that we will be keeping updated. And obviously a share button. And then James is going to give you a quick talk about the future of this project. And we will let you get back to the event.
Yeah, very quickly. So, I mean, one of the reasons why we just quickly wanted to speak here is because we're going to keep this project right now is open source, so we're going to keep it open source. But we're looking to push it further now. Obviously, given the credibility that it's been given from NASA now, we're really excited about its potential future. We've already had funding offerings from both private and public sectors. So we're looking for people who are willing to who are interested and maybe excited about working on a space app with NASA. And yeah, if that's something that interests you, please reach out to us. I mean, our goal right now is to reach out to science centers, universities, and give the capability for a small child, a small girl to walk up to the screen, scroll through the events happening, click on an event, have a telescope connected to it, and that young girl can now watch a supernova at the same time as the astrophysicist who's watching it at NASA. So if you want to work on something that's cool like that, please come talk to us, please reach out to us. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. One more thing. As a prize, we've actually been invited to watch one of Elon Musk's spaceships leave the Earth in September at NASA in Florida. So that's pretty cool. We're excited for that. And maybe if you want to join our team, maybe you can come. We're allowed to bring one person each. Incentive. Thanks, everybody.